that supportive environment and that culture of actually a mistake, it can be a lesson in a nice way, not in a punitive way. And let's explore what happened. Let's see what went well and what perhaps could be done differently next time. And making that, but providing, I guess, that safe space for that to happen. And, I remember working with someone who said, a lesson, a mistake once is fine because it's a lesson. But when you make that same mistake again, then it's, there's something else. But I think most people who will make a mistake in the true sense of the word, and they feel it's a mistake, if it's handled well and in a supportive way with their people manager, it's more likely to then become a positive, and they'll learn from it rather than punishing themselves or feeling bad, or worse still, when it happens again, those behaviours are sort of more stifled and less natural, and a bit more coming from a place of fear rather than let me try and help and support.
Totally agree, and I think that's the main point. That's why I always talk about blaming culture, is because it's likely to appear once you have customer issues or customer complaints, because customer complaints is a big thing. It's the business revenue that is impacted because that's the customer. So that's the problem again with customer service. It's like people think that customer service only matters when there's a complaint. Now something's at stake, but sometimes it's because the business hasn't been proactive enough beforehand. So it's too easy, first of all, to blame the employees because sometimes it's not only about an employee doing a mistake, it's how much the employee has been supported, given the tool to do the job, etc., etc. But then, like you said, you start to position yourself in a place of fear of making mistakes because your managers, your company do not have the correct approach with mistakes, because it's impacting customers. And that's very dangerous, because then the blaming culture will keep getting bigger and bigger, like a snowball going down a hill. You wouldn't want to be blamed for something, or like the minute you've done something wrong, so you'll try to naturally not be accountable for it because you don't want to be blamed for it. Where if you are in an environment of continuous improvement, you will want to be accountable because that's a positive thing to make a mistake in order to improve. So obviously this is impacting the way you will retain your employees, because obviously if you have this type of environment, it's more likely that they do not stay longer. And I think employee retention is so important, because the more you retain your employees, the more they will be able to stay longer and therefore be consistent in delivering great customer service. Sorry, I wanted to ask you a question, but please go first.
Oh, okay, go on.
Well, actually, that was the question. So, talking about. Sorry, it was a long introduction for the question.
No. I had something that I wanted to pick out of what you were saying, actually, because I think, again, it's like we planned this, Pierre, but again, I think there is like similarities. You mentioned about, sometimes customer service is seen as just fixing a problem. And I would imagine that the cost of that fixing, I don't necessarily always mean financial, is probably greater than the cost of keeping them happy in the first place. And the reason why I wanted to pick it out is because it's something that I always say, it costs more to replace your people than it does to retain them. So I guess it's a very similar thing. And I just wanted to just pick that out because we're coming from the same place, I think, and it goes back to that proactive versus reactive. So